As always, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat or the Q&A so we can get to that. And without further ado, I'll turn this over to Jeff Walczak.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ken. And we, as always, need to remind you that eTruckBiz is not endorsed, sponsored, or anything else by FedEx Corporation. Once again, the time seems to be ticking, looking for an alternative to move into Descartes. A lot of you are. We have a better alternative for you using Motive for AI Veeder cameras, Veeder system, and Impact Solutions for the Train the Trainer program. Both of these companies have special deals for eTruckBiz clients. You can get no upfront AI Veeder camera cost for eTruckBiz clients from Motive, and no initial course fee for Train the Trainer program from Impact Solutions. Also, Becca has something to tell us.
Thank you. Quick question. Is your business leaking money without you even knowing it? So maybe it's drivers taking the long way around, hidden costs that blindside you every month, or drowning in paperwork when you should be strategizing your next move. So right here, inefficient routes, surprising cost, or administrative workload all go towards lost profitability, unfortunately. So most service providers don't know exactly where their money is going, and we can show you exactly where the leaks are and how to stop them fast. If you sign up for a free no obligation session where we'll perform a full business health check for your company, we will then get you a standard operating budget and an operating expense plan. So this will be an analysis that will identify those profit leaks and show you what to change or what we can do differently to create growth. And then we can show you how our business growth system programs can make an immediate positive impact on your business. So we can stop the firefighting and start growing. And here are those 3 programs within the business growth system. We have the Budget IQ program focusing on the financial planning and tracking. Performance IQ program is the operational monitoring and guidance, and Admin IQ is to eliminate the non-revenue producing tasks. And all 3 of these programs, if you have 1, 2, or all 3 of them together, you do get our software as a service. So the Boss, the Optics app, Line Drive app, P&D Driver app, all of the tools that you need in order to grow.
So I was looking down the list of attendees here. I was hoping Robert was going to be on here because he just went. There is a Robert on here, but not the Robert. We just did this for Mr. Robert, and he was pleasantly surprised, I guess.
I would agree.
That those of you that were on here, that he just went through one of the sessions that Becca tells you about every week. And I think, like I said, he's really surprised about, if I can get this. This is the game, folks. Are you tracking each dispatch? It's revenue generated and it's cost per dispatch. This is it. This is your golf card. This is your scoreboard at the football game. This is everything right here. And I'm pretty sure Robert, who was on here before, I think he got it. He saw the value in this. If you're not doing this, folks, I know it's a tedious task to do it, but we can do it for you, right? And this is the way, it's the way of the future. So let's go to the next slide.
So if you're interested in more information on any of the programs or what Jeff was just able to show you, please email me, becca@etruckbiz.com. If you want to book a session, you can scan the QR code and it takes you directly to my calendar as well.
Outstanding. A lot of people do it. A lot of folks are taking advantage of that offer. So let's look at the volume from last week. It's kind of interesting. So pickup stops were hanging in there. That's good. Pickup volume, at least on the vans, looked pretty good. Oh man, what happened to the delivery side of the house there? Kind of fell out. It's interesting. It means a lot of big shippers weren't shipping as much last week. Wonder if that's going to happen again this week. And then we want to look at the productivity that we do every week. And routes dispatch came down a little bit. That's good. Oh no. Stops per dispatch, Ken.
I feel ill. We dropped significantly below the 100 stops per dispatch line down to 95.85. On average, if that's $4 a stop, that's $16 for every dispatch of revenue that you lost. And quite frankly, we probably didn't pay our drivers $16 less. So our margins just got squeezed significantly last week by, let's say, 5.017%. So take a look at that as the volume falls off, adjust accordingly, utilize historical volume. If you look back a year ago in September, did the volume drop off last September? If it did at this time, it's probably going to drop off this September. So please use the historical data that is stored in eTruckBiz or whatever source you have, but please look at this so we get this number back over that 100 stops per dispatch line where we really need to be to make our operations efficient and profitable.
I know everybody wants to say that, well, I'm training drivers, and yeah, okay, I get it. You got to train drivers, that's for sure. But as my boss used to say, that's great, but you can't just willy-nilly throw productivity and everything to the wind because you got a little training going on. It's all part of it. Right.
And what tends to happen once the Schedule K money starts coming in, we spend it, but we don't have to spend it yet, but train wisely.
For sure. Okay, last week there was a bunch of news, so let's go through. So one of the first things, we were talking this morning about what should we say about this. Folks, there's just some weird things going on out there right now. Ken, do you want to tell us a little bit about
Yeah,
weird things?
everybody was under the impression that they're getting renegotiation offers per se. Well, if FedEx is sending you, say you've got an offer in there, this is a market adjustment and not a negotiation. It is an offer, and they're going to call you and say, we're giving you more per stop. We're increasing your stop pay to this on non-e-commerce. This is what it is for e-commerce, and we're upping your stops per, and we're upping your weekly service fee. Make sure you take a good look at it. Some of the offers are inflated stops, significantly more than what you're actually doing, so it makes the increase look even bigger. Just take a look at it. If you want us to help you take a look at it, we can do so. We can help, but they're calling them market adjustments. They are not negotiations, so you can't counter and try to get more money. At least we don't think you can counter. We're not going to say that somebody didn't try that, and we'll see what the result of that is later today. But
But aren't there still people getting or submitting requests for renegotiations?
correct. Yeah. So if you have submitted a request for a renegotiation and the negotiator and says it has been granted, then that will truly be a renegotiation and not a market adjustment. So there's a little bit of a difference there.
A little bit of stuff going on there for sure. Go to eTruckBiz.com/negotiation for some more information on that. More news. Okay. FedEx's earnings came out Thursday night, and it's a couple things here. The good news is FedEx delivered good news. So before the earnings came out, everybody wanted to talk about how the economy was horrible, tariffs are trashing the transportation industry, and everything else is bad. Oops. FedEx beat on revenue, up 3.1% from 2025 Q1 or first quarter of the fiscal year in 2025. Or actually, no, it's fiscal year 26. I don't know.
26, fiscal year 26.
We're in 26. So, and earnings per share up from last year as well. So that's good. That's good. Something else, sometimes during these earnings announcements, it's tough to pick up on what they're talking about. But a lot of the times towards the end of these calls is where the real zingers come out. And something came out at the end of the call this last time that said, yeah, there was a new partnership with Amazon, but the thing is, they said only 20% of the agreement has been implemented. They expect the rest of this new agreement, new deal, contract, whatever it is, to be implemented by the end of Q3 of 26, which is when again, Ken? Is that the end of
Q3 would be the end of January. Wait, no,
no, end of March.
March, yes, correct. Because then you got
Because May is the end of the
May,
year.
yeah, so then you got April, May. So it would be actually the end of February. Because then you got for the last quarter would be March, April, and May.
Which means what? If it's 80%, hell, if it's half, I don't know, whatever. If they're gonna implement the rest of that contract for the next 6 months, if you want to look at it that way, that's a hell of a lot of volume. And I don't know, we've been talking about it. I'm wondering if that is spurring some of these market adjustments or something. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but it should be a pretty healthy peak. But as far as I know, they haven't been adjusting any of the forecasts, have they, for peak? I don't think so.
No, it's kind of, and that's with those market adjustments, it's kind of been a mixed bag, whether the stops for that CSA increased or decreased, we've seen both. So once again, odd, but I don't see strong increases in the weekly stop. So said I don't see the peak forecast being revised as well. But
It has happened before where there's been a peak forecast and it sometimes they miss it on the low side, miss it on the high side. So you just gotta be on your toes, right?
I think last year, didn't they revise it up kind of towards at the last minute, if I'm not mistaken?
But it was pretty close, I
Yeah.
think. There's sometimes they really miss it. So I don't know. That's what, not saying it's gonna happen. I don't know, but I'd be on the lookout for some Amazon volume during peak. That's all I'm saying. All right. Meanwhile, over there on the UPS side of things, oops, share prices down 32% year to date. Just saying, something's wrong over there. All right. So, when growing your business, we want to talk about what are the 5 most important metrics to track as you grow, right? Because we've said now for 4 or 5 weeks straight, FedEx is gonna, if they haven't done it already, they're gonna ask you to grow your businesses. They're gonna ask you to become multi-facility operators. I mean, the record's getting broke at this point, but we're telling you that's what's about to happen. So, most service providers focus on the weekly settlement statement as being the de facto set of metrics that summarizes the hard work of your service provider team, right? What do we mean by that? They just look at your settlement and say, oh, it was a good week, bad week. And that's true. You know, that's money going into the bank account. That's one way to look at it. But focusing only on settlement can be like navigating the ocean with just a tide chart. It tells you what happened, but not the full picture of your operational health, profitability, or long-term business value. We're going to explore 5 key metrics beyond just your settlement that can give you more complete understanding of your business. These metrics will help you make more informed decisions and uncover hidden opportunities for growth and optimization. The daily dispatch yield report, which we just showed you a little bit ago, provides a granular look at the true profitability of your CSA beyond just your weekly settlement. Okay. It reveals the hidden financial realities that are masked by looking at weekly or monthly performance. Things like which days, routes, or individual dispatches are most profitable. This allows you to answer critical questions like, was Monday more profitable than Tuesday? Did adding a pickup route increase overall profitability? Which routes are winners, which are losers, and then by how much? So understanding this level of detail is crucial for making informed decisions to optimize your P&D operations and maximize profitability. And guess what else? This is so important to a service provider's operation. Where do you get this information? Does FedEx give you this information, Ken?
No, they do not. They give
Oh,
you revenue on a weekly basis, but not on a daily basis, and they certainly don't have your expenses in there. So you don't have
have
a
it,
yield.
don't have it, don't care, not their problem, right? But it is our problem. It is service provider's problem. Okay. So the next one is operating margin. Operating margin is a key financial metric that measures the percentage of revenue remaining after paying all operating expenses. The formula is simple. Operating income divided by total revenue multiplied by 100 gives you a percentage. This metric is like an efficiency gauge for your business. It shows how effectively you're converting revenue into profit. A high operating margin indicates lean, efficient operations that are maximizing output from every gallon and labor hour. A declining margin is a warning sign that you need to examine where money is being spent and find ways to improve efficiency. Maintaining a healthy operating margin is crucial for long-term sustainability and profitability of your business. How many of you take the time to generate this measurement on your own? Are you watching this? Do you know what the service was yesterday? Yep. Do you know what your operating margin was yesterday? We should, because that's actually more important to you than, well, it's as important, or if not more important than your service, right? Okay, the next one is revenue per stop. Revenue per stop is a key metric that directly measures the value you provide to FedEx with each delivery or pickup. This data-driven metric gives you leverage when renegotiating your contract with FedEx. If revenue per stop stagnates while your costs rise, you have a strong case to approach FedEx for better terms. Presenting this metric shows FedEx you are tracking your performance and are willing to have a data-driven discussion about adjusting your contract. It's kind of what we were talking about before. Use this metric to demonstrate your strategic value and negotiate from a data-driven, not emotional position. Do they listen during a contract negotiation? Do they listen to an emotional outburst? No. How about facts, numbers, data? We can argue if they do or not, but they should and typically will, right? Okay, the next metric is cost per stop. Cost per stop is a key metric that service providers control the most. It's the total operational costs divided by the number of stops made. This is where service providers should focus their time, attention, and resources. There are three main areas to optimize to reduce cost per stop. First area is wage optimization. Ensure driver productivity is maximized and routes are efficiently engineered. Fuel management. Encourage good driving habits and route optimization software to reduce fuel usage. Vehicle maintenance. Implement proactive preventative maintenance to avoid costly breakdowns and repairs. Remember, every dollar saved on cost per stop goes directly to your bottom line and increases profit without increasing revenue. Should we be worried about administrative functions or, let's say, wage optimization?
I'm going with wage optimization, just as info. Goals, 45%, 11%, 8% of your revenue. So these three will make up 64% of your revenue will go towards these three cost centers right there.
So what happens is what? Is people get wound up. FedEx wants me to look up this whatever disputed delivery or whatever it is. You do that kind of busy work. That's a non-revenue producing task, right? Your time is best spent focusing on revenue producing tasks, like Ken just said, or watching what the drivers do, right? What is going on in those trucks? That's where the game is won and lost, right? Okay. And the next thing, of course, is business value. Business value represents the overall worth of your operation. It's the ultimate long-term metric. It's influenced by all the other metrics we've covered, like profitability, efficiency, and cost control. A profitable, well-run business with high margins and low costs is inherently more valuable than one that struggles. Buyers look for operational stability, consistent profitability, and growth potential, and also well-documented financials. Strong margins and low cost per stop show your business is a well-oiled machine, making it an attractive acquisition target. Focus on improving these key drivers will increase the overall value and attractiveness of your business. Everybody wants to sell their business someday for lots and lots of money, right? That's what we're talking about here, the value of your business. The path to true business growth goes beyond just weekly settlements and checkbook balances. To transform from a job to a strategic data-driven enterprise, you'll need to focus on the 5 key financial metrics. Actively monitor these metrics to increase the overall value of your business. Whether you build your own tracking system or use a purpose-built program like Budget IQ, the important thing to do is to start now. The future of your business isn't just packages delivered, it's in the financial numbers you track and analyze. So, after covering all of that, I wonder if there's any questions out there or comments.
It does not look like we have any questions yet. Just to reiterate, I said those top three things are going to be 64% of where your revenue goes. Where's all this money going? Where's that hole in the bucket? Well, just if you hit the budget, you're going to have 64% gone. So what can you do? You got to manage those ones that you can. So the labor is the big one. And what we see a lot of times is people pay on a day rate. No, probably still the most popular way to pay. Somebody's making $180 a day and they only work 6 hours. Guess what? Paying that person $30 an hour. A lot of times we pointed that out to people. I said, I can't pay $30 an hour. Well, you are. So what can you do? You got to utilize, you got to make sure that truck's going to be on the road, as FedEx expects, 8.33 hours. And we don't have a whole lot of customers that will average that, but the ones that average 7.5 are the ones who are able to improve their margins and hit those financial targets. It didn't just happen though. I can tell you that. That's the part where you can manage and you can focus, and then you bring financial stability to your operation so you can accomplish the goals. Jeff, anything else to add to that?
Oh, sir.
We got a quiet group today. Hopefully it was kind of straightforward what we're trying to show you there. Just to reiterate also, please check your volume results for last week. See what's happening, or for last year. See what's happening last year compared to this year. Really want to see those stops per dispatch go back over that 100 mark. As I said, 4 stops cost us on average $16 of revenue per stop. We probably didn't cut our wages $16 per driver. So that's going to erode our margins. We want to get those back. So planning becomes more important. Understand training. Absolutely, I understand training. Still be prudent with it. Just because you've got an extra $550 or $1,550 of revenue coming in for the Schedule K supplemental revenue right now doesn't mean you have to spend it now. It's a good time to let that build up and maximize the training. give your current driver some time off. I remember one customer said they didn't think they'd be able to hit the same productivity goals this week because they had 2 of their experienced drivers off. Okay, that's going to happen, but can I get some good quality training in? Absolutely. So take advantage of that. Get your quality drivers the time off that they need because peak is not far off. So do not have any other questions. If you are offered a marketplace, a market adjustment, and you have any questions on it, once again, pick up the phone or email Carrie or myself so we can help you walk you through that so you can understand what they are doing. If they have Network 2.0 involved, they are a little more complicated and something you don't want to look at on your own. So we will be back here next Tuesday, same bat channel, same time. And if we don't talk to you before then, please have a safe and profitable week. Thank you very much.